Alright, so coming out from the garage, and I'm not doing too much work, but I do have something that you guys have been wanting for a while. Buddy is coming by to drop off the driver's side header he's been working on, so we'll get that in finally, and we'll go from there. But I think once that's in, I'll put the crossover back on. I'll see if he wants to take this intercooler piping for now, just try to modify it a little bit, because I'm thinking I want to have it dip down so I'm not worried about this top radiator hose. So I'll have it dip down a little bit, see if it could angle it up a little bit, and then connect it into the intake. But yeah, he's about to swing by. He's bringing his car he's been working on. He's actually building two of them right now, so he's working on one and then building another one. So he's had some stuff come up with his car. I haven't really been in too big of a rush to get the header back, but he finally had a little bit of time to button all that up. So he's going to come drop that off. Another problem I came across, I'm not sure how big a problem it's going to be, especially with this just sitting on there. There's no gasket in there, but the gasket's going to make that much of a difference. So in between here and here, it's not a whole lot of room, but it's enough. Eventually, like I said, I'll probably wrap this downpipe, but the problem's going to be right in between there. So I'm not sure if I want to go through modifying the downpipe or just cut a little bit of this out. So we'll see what happens, because there's still going to be a little bit of play in there. So I think if it's tightened up all the way, it'd be a little bit more room, but it's still going to be pretty close to that wheel well. This being plastic and that heat, who knows what happened. Probably melted a little bit, but yeah, one more thing. I had another buddy, he hit me up after seeing me install the flex fuel sensor and the bulkhead or firewall pass-through. He does a lot of racing. I think I've had his car on the channel a few times, that black Malibu. He's also doing a 6.0 swapped 5.0, so a 6.0 swapped Fox body. Want to check both of those out. But I have some parts he's supposed to be coming to get, so I might check out one of them when he swings by. But he did mention to me that if I were to ever want to track this car, like take it to the drag strip or anything, and I looked it up also after he told me, you're not supposed to have anything fuel related mounted to the firewall. It's supposed to be at least 6 inches off. He's saying that's why you see a lot of flex fuel sensors and stuff get mounted to the wheel wells or anywhere but the firewall. So appreciate him for pointing that out to me. I'll run it like this for now, just to get it up and running and everything. And later on down the road, when I do decide to track the car, probably take it there the first time. If they tell me to fix it before the next time, that'll work for me too. But I'll keep it here for now. Like I said, eventually, if it becomes more of a track car and I get it out a lot more often, I probably will have to reroute that. So that's something you guys need to keep in mind if you're going to be taking your car up to a track. So yeah, but I like how it looks. It's going to stay there for a while. Like I said, eventually this will be wrapped, and I'll probably wrap this bottom part also. But it's nice having car related friends that can point stuff out to you. But that was a big eye opener. Like I said, I'm not specifically building the car for anything, but it will be a fun street car. I'd like to see it hit the track a few times, maybe autocross. I'm not sure yet, but who knows? We'll get there eventually. And the reason you don't want to mount it to the firewall is because if something happens to the flex plate or flywheel, they don't want it like shooting off and cutting the fuel line and causing a fire. I think that's the only reason I've seen about it. But yeah, that's just a little heads up. Mine will stay there for now, but if you're looking to get serious into it in a racing or anything, or a bunch of track time and need to pass tech, I don't think that's a no-go. But for now, I'm gonna run it like that. But yeah, I'm gonna cut the camera off. I'll cut it back on when my buddy's about to pull up. and drop off the header. Get your approval? So little. What's going on?
How you doing?
Good, over yourself.
It's early.
Is it day off?
Yeah.
It wasn't like that when I gave it to you.
Y'all on your social media. Gives me something to do though. Gives me something to watch.
Uh-oh. Oh yeah, safety first, lap belts.
Yeah. Safety first. Alright, man.
Have a good one, appreciate it. Oh, come on, you can make that turn. Not a bad little shop car. Yeah, like I say, you just dropped off the header. I'll get this mounted up and put the crossover pipe on there, and we should be good. Did a little test fit, and it does clear the steering shaft. So I believe he said he took a 1/2 inch out of the two rear ones, took a 1/2 inch out, heated them up, pulled them closer together, and then just re-welded them. Yeah, so let me throw that on. I'll probably take this off, throw the gaskets on, and start getting everything officially mounted instead of just mocked up. So yeah, but talked to him a little bit on some other plans with the builds and going over making some little panels to close those gaps. So that CAD design right there. Yeah, and then discussing with the hood latch and everything, going with hood pins, just bouncing ideas off of them. Also with the manual brake kit up, the brake lines and stuff. So I'll try to do most of the lines and everything, but he has some tools that I could use, like the flaring tools, dimple die sets for these and stuff. So definitely get back in touch with them when it comes down to it. Get some more stuff powder coated, and go from there. But let me throw these headers on, and then I'll catch you guys back on. Alright, so there we go. The headers are mounted up. Everything looks good. Like I said, I pointed out previously, but it is... Alright, let me get this filter off. There we go. It is pretty close right in here, but there's enough clearance. I'm not too worried about it. If I notice anything with the belt, like heating up too much or starting to melt or something, I'll wrap this crossover pipe, but for now I think we should be alright. I still have to order there's one company that make a low profile thermostat mount for the LS's, so probably have to order that. It's been cheap lately. It's about 125 bucks, or yeah, 125, 130, right around there. So I'll order that. And another reason is because it goes straight down instead of coming off to the side. It'll drop straight down. So that might give me a few more options for a lower radiator hose. Have something just come along here and then route up instead of having to come up here, drop down, and worry about heating everything from here. So like I said, because that one still hits. So yeah, that's pretty much what I need to order, is that low profile thermostat housing. But headers are on, gaskets are on, everything's nice and good. I did have to take the crossover pipe off, or just loosen up a little bit to slip the belt back into place. Like I said, I still need to get a new alternator, but just have the belt somewhat routed how it's going to be. Not going to use that alternator. Had it tested. That one was bad. And it's not even in a little rough condition anyway, so I'll either go with a new one so it's a lot cleaner look, or try to find one that's already painted or powder coated black, so might go that route. Yeah, I think a black one would look real good up here, right in here. But yeah, that's just about it for today. Just got the header back on, able to, well, I'll rotate that one so if that bolt's not sticking straight up, either turn it so it's pointed out to the side or flip it all the way around. I'm not sure yet, but I'll get it turned around. I think this one should be good. I don't have your hands in this area too much, but I did want to come out and start laying some stuff out for the painless wiring harness, so might pull that box out a little bit, take them out, take a look at it, and see how I'm gonna mount it. Not too worried. I think it is just the bulkhead is going to stick out a little bit with all the front wiring. Everything else is going to be inside the car, so yeah, need to take a look at that. I don't think I'm gonna start it just yet. Watch a couple more videos on it, and I think I'm gonna have to order, I want to say the headlight switch and probably a windshield wiper switch also. So I'll have to order those two things. Then the dome light, I'll have to order that. I think this kit does come with the under dash lights, or the courtesy lights. I think that's what they call them. So comes with those, but I think the pins in the door, I think I'll have to order those also. That's if I wanted to get dome lights and everything to cut on when I do it. So these little connectors here, I have to order those. But yeah, that's it for today. Just had my buddy come by in his bug, drop the headers off, bounce some ideas off of each other about the car builds. And then I think we were talking with that downpipe, it's gonna be real close to these wheel wells, so he said just cut it. So I'll probably end up cutting this a little bit just so that the downpipe's not resting right on it, end up melting it. I'd rather have it cut out a little bit, and we'll go from there. Like I said, we're discussing about making some panels for this, just to close in this area, and probably just going to go with the hood pins just because the intercooler will be here. So if the intercooler's there, I'm gonna need something for the hood latch, and I think hood pins probably be the way to go. But yeah, that's it for now. So I'll probably cut it on a little bit later today when I pull out the painless kit. But for now, just getting the header back. We're still working on this intercooler piping, so that doesn't quite line up just yet. And I think I'll get a couple spare pieces and put a little bit of more of a bend here just for the upper radiator hose, so it can just come straight out and then go over to the water pump. And have to also keep in mind, I think it's the wastegate, might be the blow-off valve, I'm not sure, but I don't want it too close to the alternator, so I'll have to keep that in mind with this section. If I want to cut it out, probably rotate it. If I rotate it, I'll have this coming out a little bit farther instead of tucked in. But I know there's another port down here for, I think, the air intake temp sensor, so I have to keep that in mind also. So it'll probably run pretty close to the fans and just angle up a little bit just to give me the spacing between. I'm gonna keep calling it the blow-off valve. It might be the wastegate. I think it's a blow-off valve. Just space it out a little bit from the alternator so everything's not hitting. But yeah, plenty of clearance. Once this is mounted into place, of course, it's not gonna hit there. Clears the steering shaft. It's close, but there's plenty of room. Don't have to worry about anything. But yeah, it's coming together. You know, I've hit up a bunch of people. Well, not a bunch of them, but I've been seeing a couple more G bodies. A lot of Malibus running the on 3 kit, and every time I see them, I ask them if they had any problems, and they said they've had problems too. So it's not just me. The kit needs a little bit of a tweak. So, like I said, he took ½ an inch out of those back 2 collectors, heated them up, and pulled them in and re-welded them. So that's what it takes to clear those. Of course, you could cut them up and put new sections in there and stuff, but that's probably the easiest way to do it. Driver's side, like I said, it clears just fine. It's a little tight with the downpipe, and then it's a little close here with the downpipe, but nothing to really worry about. But yeah, that's it. It's nice to get the header back. I wasn't in too much of a rush, but now I think a few people have been putting some pressure on me to get it at least running, so I'm going to come out, get a little bit more consistent. Like I said, the weather's finally warming up. Still raining a little bit here and there, but we'll get to it. Like I said, getting it running, not too far off. Just have to wire it up, run the fuel lines, and that might be it to get it running. Might have to order a new ignition cylinder. So that'll be it. But that's enough of me talking. Cut you guys off. Probably cut the camera on a little bit later when I mess with the wiring a little bit. But like I always say, if there's something I haven't done yet that you guys want to see me pay more attention to, just let me know. When I get to it, try to focus on it a little bit more.